Order. Order. I call the meeting to order. It is the Standing Committee on Community Services. I'm Melissa Sheehy-Richard, MLA for Hants West and chair of this committee. Today we will be conducting an agenda-setting meeting, so I just want to remind everybody to have your devices on silent, please, and in case of emergency, we'll use the Granville Street exit and walk up to Grand Parade. At this point, I'd like to ask committee members to introduce themselves, beginning on my left with MLA Johns.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Brad Johns, MLA for Sackville-Uniacke.
And Larry Harrison, MLA for Colchester-Musquodoboit Valley.
Good morning, Trevor Boudreau, the MLA for Richmond.
Good morning, Tom Taggart, MLA for Colchester North.
Good morning, everyone. Susie Hansen, MLA for Halifax Needham.
Good morning, Carmen Kerr for Annapolis.
Good morning, Derek Mumbercut, MLA for Sydney, Member 2.
And I would also, at this point, like to note presence of Chief Legislative Counsel Gordon Hebb and Legislative Committee Clerk Tamara Nusabi. So at this point, I would ask, we'll go right into the agenda setting, and I'll ask for members to share their topics one motion at a time. And at that point, I'm going to ask if there's any discussion on the topic and the witnesses as put forward, beginning with the PC caucus and MLA Boudreau.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I move that the first topic for the PC caucus be reducing financial barriers for children and families, with representatives from the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development, the Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, the Department of Community Service and Kids Sport, Nova Scotia.
Is there any discussion on the topic? Seeing none. Was that a motion? Okay. Motion is on the floor. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. MLA Boudreau.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the second topic for the PC caucus be expanding cellular infrastructure, with representatives from the Department of Public Works, from Build Nova Scotia, and from Rogers Wireless.
Is there any discussion on this topic? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. MLA Boudreau.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I move that the third topic for the PC caucus be supporting healthy families, with representatives from the Department of Community Services, the Family Resource Centers, and veterans caregivers.
Is there any topic on the discussion? MLA Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just wondering if maybe we can add a friendly amendment and add the College of Social Workers into that particular presentation.
MLA Boudreau.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would say that we're comfortable with the witnesses that we've put forward. I appreciate there's other stakeholders, but I think in terms of the context, we're quite comfortable with what we've put forward, but thank you for that.
All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please say aye.
On this motion, or there's a friendly amendment? Just the motion? Okay.
Just the motion. Mm-hmm. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. I will look to the Liberal Caucus. MLA Mumbercat.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the first topic for the Liberal Caucus is review of community services support programs amidst the costs of living crisis, with representatives from the Department of Community Services, representatives from the Affordable Housing Energy Coalition, and representatives from the Department of Service, Nova Scotia.
Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. MLA Mumbercat.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. For our second topic, I move the topic for the Liberal Caucus be the impact of affordable housing, the impact of the affordable housing crisis on vulnerable Nova Scotians, with representatives from the Department of Community Services, representatives from Affordable Housing Association of Nova Scotia, representatives from the Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and representatives from the YMCA Halifax.
MLA Hansen.
I'd like to put forward a friendly suggestion, and maybe we could ask for a representative from ADSM as a witness.
Sure.
Emily Momperket?
I accept that, yeah. So if you want to move a motion, I don't know if we need a motion for that, Madam Speaker. That's a great suggestion.
As for a motion, Emily Hanson?
I'd like to put forward the motion to make the amendment to add to the impact of affordable housing crisis on vulnerable Nova Scotians. Among the other witnesses that are a part of that slate, add Adsum House as another.
Okay. Is there any discussion on the amendment? MLA Boudreau?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I don't have a problem with adding. I'm comfortable with that. The question that we have as a caucus is the definition of vulnerable. So, do we need that vulnerable in there? Because I think if we think of all the different parts of spectrums of housing, there are a bunch of different Nova Scotians who are impacted. And so I would rather if we could remove the word vulnerable from that. But really, outside of that, I'm comfortable with the requested extra witnesses. Fine. Is that okay? So I would like to make an amendment to the amendment to basically remove vulnerable from the topic title.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll vote on MLA Hanson's amendment and then MLA Boudreau. So MLA Hanson, I'll just ask you to repeat your motion so we're sure.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My motion is to add a witness to the impact of affordable housing crisis on vulnerable Nova Scotians, continue with all the representatives that are on the list, and add Adsum House to that.
All those in favor of the amended motion? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Amended motion is carried. The amendment is carried. MLA Taggart.
Thanks, Chair. I just want to comment, and I'm not opposed to any of that. I note that on that particular one, we have 5 different representatives, and a couple, at least 2 of them, are from outside of government. I recall where we once had a meeting here where we had a lot of different representatives, and somebody never got asked a question because typically the questions are forwarded to folks within the government that have. So I just want to bring that to people's attention. If you will recall, a large article, scathing article about, or letter to the editor or something about this person not being given an opportunity to speak, and so we just have to be. I think we have to be cognizant of that when we get a lot of witnesses. Thank you.
Thank you, MLA Taggart. MLA Boudreau.
So I'm just hoping it's appropriate for my amendment to come forward at this point, which is to remove vulnerable from the title of the topic.
All those in favor of the motion? Of the amended motion? No, the amendment. All of those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Amendment is carried. So now I will look to MLA Momperket.
So do you need a new motion from me? Oh, sure. Okay, Madam Speaker, the amended motion is carried, and as I said, we've supported the amendments from both the NDP and the PC caucus for that. I just don't know if I need to make a new motion.
Okay, I will now call in a vote on an amended motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The amended motion is carried. So now we are going over to the NDP caucus. MLA Hanson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The NDP has put forward the topic, support and protection for tenants under the Residential Tenancies Program, and our witnesses are the Deputy Minister for the Department of Service Nova Scotia, representative from Dalhousie Legal Aid, representative from the Social Justice Office, Nova Scotia Legal Aid, representative from Nova Scotia Acorn.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. There was a deferred motion left on the agenda, the committee to write a letter to the Emergency Management Office. You can see it here on our agenda. I'm just turning over to the MLA Mombercat.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I apologize. I understand one of my colleagues put the motion on the floor. He's not here to speak to that as per the rules, so I would make a motion to defer to a later date.
All in favor of deferring the motion, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion is deferred. So that, oh, pardon me, MLA Kerr.
Thank you, Chair. I wonder if this is the right time or the correct time or the appropriate time just to talk about questioning. I know in other committees I'm part of and others are part of, we're given an allotment of, say, 15 minutes or more or less. In this committee, it seems that whoever's first to raise their hand gets the question kind of thing. It's usually limited. I see the chair shaking her head, but I have been on this committee where you have an opportunity to ask one question, and there doesn't seem to be time to ask two. And to MLA Taggart's point, to make sure or ensure that we're able to ask questions of all witnesses, would this be the time to consider or make a motion to consider another format for questioning similar to other committees?
This committee actually is a 2020 committee.
Oh, beg your pardon?
Yes.
Okay,
So good.
very good.
Is there any other items for discussion? So at that point, I will remind everybody that our next meeting is November the 5th, 2024. Topic is addressing homelessness crises. The witnesses are Affordable Housing Association of Nova Scotia, Department of Community Services, Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and Shelter Nova Scotia. There's no other committee business, then this meeting is adjourned.